Drake has already put out 2 diss tracks.
Pip squeak, pipe down, you ain't in no big threes.
Kendrick Lamar finally dropped his diss track against Drake.
I hate the way that you walk, the way that you talk.
As Drake's beef with Kendrick Lamar started ramping up, some people started digging into the Toronto rapper's companies. And it turns out, he's got a lot of them. Tweets that got hundreds of thousands of views pointed out Drake owns at least 20 companies. But what does that mean, and does it actually point to anything unusual? I looked closer into this and got access to some of the records that this all stems from. The US documents show he actually has or had at least 52 incorporated entities, listing Aubrey D. Graham, his legal name, in senior positions like director, manager, and CEO.
In the US, the second that you say, oh, let's start this business, the first thing you would do is create an LLC. It protects you from liability.
Let's break this down.
Hey, I'm Rue. I'm an addict.
There are 9 companies using the name Dream Crew, Drake's well-known media company making HBO's Euphoria, and 18 that feature his initials. Another 4 shows, Away From Home, a reference to a song, and 2 that reference owls, Drake's trademark symbol for his company October's Very Own, known as OVO. Owl Creative Holdings, and a company with the name Strix, which in mythology is an owl that eats humans. One is even called Silence Policy.
So you want to keep every single one of those businesses, in effect, well, segregated in the sense that any risks related to that project and getting sued or having a, going broke or anything to do with that particular project are isolated to that particular project and the assets of that particular entity, and it doesn't sort of bring the rest of your entire business empire down.
Now, estimates put Drake's net worth at around $250 million. Let's talk about protecting that wealth.
It's very common for people of very high net wealth to have an inordinate amount of LLCs at times. Donald Trump has quite a few of them. That is a form of asset protection. When you have that kind of net worth, you kind of have a bullseye or a target on you for what can be frivolous lawsuits at times, right?
Step that way, then step this way, step that way.
Another thing, after Kendrick used Drake's Toronto home for the cover of his diss track, Not Like Us, Drake's properties came into the spotlight.
Got a condo up on Biscayne.
In his 2011 track, The Motto, Drake raps that he got a condo up on Biscayne in Miami. And the Miami property cost him $1.9 million US in 2011, before flipping it as one unit for $2.4 million to an NBA player in 2012. The records show Drake bought that condo from controversial property developer Levayev Boymel Marquee Developers LLC, one of the namesake partnerships between businessmen Lev Levayev and Shea Boymel. So we don't know how much Drake really knew about the developers. But in the 2000s, both Levayev and Boymel were accused of helping to build Israeli settlements in the West Bank, which are considered illegal under international law. Drake's team declined to comment on the record, while Boymel and Levayev didn't return our requests for comments.
Type of money, everybody acting like they know you.
Ultimately, using limited liability companies and investing in real estate, something experts say is typical of someone like Drake.
It's honestly advisable in many instances. When you have that kind of net worth, it's a good way of protecting yourself from potential creditors trying to reach your assets through no fault of your own, whatever the case may be.